कर्नाटक पीछे रहेगा तो हिंदुस्तान आगे कहां से बढ़ेगा? अगर गोवा पीछे रहेगा तो हिंदुस्तान कहां से आगे बढ़ेगा? बिहार पीछे रहेगा तो हिंदुस्तान कहां से आगे बढ़ेगा? बंगाल पीछे रहेगा तो हिंदुस्तान कहां से आगे बढ़ेगा? और इसलिए भारत को आगे बढ़ाना है तो राज्यों को भी ताकतवर बनाना चाहिए। कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म का लेटर एंड स्पिरिट में पालन हो, उस दिशा में हमने कदम उठाए।
Despite Prime Minister Narendra Modi's words 7 years ago, today it's his government that stands accused of weakening states and damaging cooperative federalism in letter and spirit. Take, for example, the proposed changes to the IAS Cadre rules, which is the latest confrontation between states and the union government. The union government wants to change the rules by which officers are assigned their postings. The reason it's so contentious is because the union government no longer wants to get the approval of state governments to transfer officers for central deputation. So how have states reacted? Why have they accused the Modi government of engineering a breakdown in federalism? Let me explain. But before I dive into that, I just want to quickly remind you that stories like this take time, effort and resources. We cannot do this without your support. So do become a member of the News Minute. We have 2 types of membership starting at 1,179 rupees for an entire year. Also, to catch every episode of Let Me Explain, which comes out every week, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. So state governments are upset with the proposal to change the IAS Cadre rules. Now, before I go into their concerns, let's look at how the present system works. There are 3 categories or services for government officials in India. Central services, which comes under the control of the union government, state services, which comes under the state governments, and the All India services. The present row is over this. The All India services consist of the Indian Administrative Services or the IAS, the Indian Police Services or the IPS, and the Indian Forest Services or the IFOS. They are recruited through the UPSC or the Union Public Service Commission examinations and then deputed to different states. Everything from their salaries to their transfer and postings are decided by the state government. Presently, it's the state government that also decides whether an officer should be deputed to the union government. So the union government proposed 4 changes to the IAS Cadre rules, citing a shortage of officers. Instantly, the same changes were also proposed to the IPS and the IFOS Cadre rules. What are the 4 changes? First, the state will provide a list of officers who can be deputed to the union government. The actual number of officers who will be deputed for central services will be decided by the union government in consultation with the state governments. At the moment, the number of officers deputed for central services cannot be more than 40% of the total cadre strength of the state. So what this new rule does, it tilts the balance of powers towards the union government. Second, if there are any disagreements over the deputation of officers, the matter will be decided by the union government and the state will give effect to this decision within a specified time. The insertion of a specified time is the new change. The third change says that in specific situations, the union government may seek the services of officers in public interest and the state governments will give effect to this decision within a specified time. Now, states and bureaucrats have flagged this new rule as problematic. States fear that the union government may call upon officers who are engaged in critical work and that this will impact the administration of the state. There's also a concern that it will lead to targeted harassment of officers. The last change, and this is a major one, if the state government delays deputing an officer for central services and the state government does not implement the union government's decision within a specified time, then the officer will stand relieved from the cadre. The new change will take away the state's veto. Presently, it is the state government that provides a no objection notice for the officer to be deputed to the union government. Chief ministers like Mamata Banerjee, M.K. Stalin, Pinarayi Vijayan, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, among others, have shot off letters to the Prime Minister demanding that the proposal be dropped. They have called the move dangerous and against the spirit of cooperative federalism, making the union government stronger and weakening the rights and powers of the state. Now, despite Prime Minister Modi's claim of championing federalism, the fact is his government has been very happy to centralize. And the One Nation slogan is at the heart of BJP's centralization project.
One nation, one election. One nation, one grid. One nation, one ration card. One nation, one mobility card.
The One Nation slogan, while catchy, not only goes against cooperative federalism, but also goes against the idea of India being a diverse and pluralist society. The move for greater centralization has come at the cost of state powers. Take, for instance, education, which comes under the concurrent list and allows states and the union government to frame laws and policies. Take, for example, the National Education Policy 2020, which has proposed a single regulatory body for higher education. The policy has been seen as an attempt to centralize education and take away powers from the states. It is for the same reason Tamil Nadu has been opposing NEET, the Common Medical Entrance Exam. Tamil Nadu has been arguing that states should decide who should be admitted to medical institutions, especially since many of them were built with state resources.
The state list is becoming smaller and smaller, and most of the right from education is being taken away by the union government.
Legislations like the Farm Bills and the Dam Safety Bill, which was passed in Parliament in December last year, have been criticized for encroaching upon state subjects like agriculture and water. But it is the Modi government's failure to consult states on these legislations, and even in matters like the national lockdown of 2020, that has led to this breakdown in federalism.
Did you talk to us at least? Did you consult the people? I would treat this bill as a direct, brutal assault on the state rights and the constitution as such.
This bill transfers to the entire power to union government. This directly goes against the law of the land and the federal principles of the constitution. We have just seen what had happened to similar set of laws which encroached upon the subject of agriculture. The government was forced to withdraw these legislations because it's not suitable for the state.
These are just some of the examples of how the center-state relationship has moved from one of cooperation to confrontation under the Modi government. And although Modi, as Gujarat Chief Minister, may have been the champion of federalism, as Prime Minister, he too, like many others before him, is guilty of trampling on the rights of states. What are your views on the controversy over the IAS Cadre rules? Do you think states are justified in demanding that the proposal be dropped? Tell us what you think in the comments. Also, if you've liked this video, don't forget to hit like and share this video with your friends.